Hello everyone. I am Swadesh Shana from the CAC department, a second year undergrad student, welcoming you all to the DevHub Init session, which will be a launch as well as an orientation session for everyone interested to become a developer at Jadavpur University. I thank you all for joining this event, and I hope that this is a start of an endeavor at JU. So, not before any further ado, we can start. The first question that most of you faced was that why was DevHub founded, or what is DevHub actually? I would like to invite my batchmate Shanawaz to speak a few words on why DevHub was founded.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you, Swadesh. So myself, Shanawaz from CSE UG2. So the importance of DevHub, like where does DevHub stand? To understand this, we need to first understand what is basically DevHub. It's composed of two words, a dev and a hub. What is dev? Dev is a short form of developers or development. And what is hub? It's just a collection or a community, you can say. So the idea behind this whole thing was that uh, we people, we are now currently studying in college, so the things we are taught, maybe from technical field or maybe from non-technical fields. So the thing is, whatever we are taught and whatever we need to apply later on in, like when we are going for some industry related work or something, so there's a difference, there's a gap between the theory and the applications. So in the meantime, where most people face the issue is that what you learn by theoretical things and what you apply actually to build something, to develop something, there is a huge difference in that. You need to cope up with some industry standards. You need to, right, if you are building something, if you are going on to build some project or some maybe something to add to your portfolio, so then you need to follow some standards to collaborate with others. You also need to follow some standards. Like when we are working somewhere, I am working on, say, module A, so I make some changes in my module A, and my co-worker say he is working on the same module. So when I am working on the module A and I have made some changes, and only myself, I only know that what changes I have made, and I made the changes and I just submitted it for releasing it to production. When those changes are interpreted by my co-worker, he won't know that why did I do the changes, what exactly is it aimed for. So there comes a gap, like what we miss out. We actually missed out that documenting the whole thing, the way we did, and what are the standards we followed. The whole thing should be documented. So many things are there like this, there is a gap between the theory and the applications. We need to bridge the gap actually, so that we can easily move on to the industry standards. Here comes a big question, like how to do the whole thing. This whole thing, one thing we all know that knowledge, like teachers come, they teach us, we all listen to that. But when we discuss it with our friends, when we discuss it with our peers, so we learn a lot more than that. And we also learn by putting all those things into practice, by building something, by actually trying hands on, doing something which may would in fact help us in our developing something on projects or working on something which may be contributed to a portfolio, etc. So this whole thing we can summarize it as the peer-to-peer learning. The more we learn from others, the more we grow. It's actually two-way learning. We don't actually, the concept of DevHub is that it to provide a platform for everyone where people come, they can share their knowledge, and others who may be knowing a little less than that, he may learn from the whole thing, he may apply his own skills on that, he may innovate on that problem to build something good for his community, or to build something, or to build any project. For example, say I'm working on a project B or project A, and I'm working on, say, any module. In the meantime, I got stuck somewhere. Now my friend may not be knowing the whole thing, but he knows how to solve that particular problem. So for that thing I may take his help. But if I continue doing on, I continue debugging that whole thing alone, So I may be able to solve it at end, but it would take a lot more time. So what DevHub does is it actually came into existence to give people the platform where people can come together, they can collaborate, they can develop something, they can think together, and they can innovate together to build some things, to build some to creative to build some creative things and innovate. Like it's an open community. Now we are in the quest of building such an open community where people of similar interests would come together and build solutions to real world problems which would create an impact. Be it your personal projects or team participations, we believe in learning for all. Now, some specific problems are that which actually we are addressing. Like most people, they may be teaching theoretically, or they may be teaching like they tell you that go here, read this thing from the net, and follow this reference book, and you may be knowing the whole thing. But it's actually not. When we apply our skills and when we learn our skills, there is a huge gap. So we are trying to bridge that gap by introducing hands-on sessions where, like, we are going to conduct some hands-on workshops, some sessions on how to build something that uses various new advanced technologies, optimize your ideas and craft them so that we can target more effective solutions than just following the trend. So this hands-on education gives us the freedom and responsibility to learn through real experience rather than just simply reading or listening to somebody else. Now, what actually we are targeting is that we are composed of different branches in which we can focus on and try this whole concept, like this hands-on sessions, this hands-on training, by which people can come together, they can share their knowledge and they can learn something in a collaborative manner. One thing we may all agree that like software development has become one of the lowest barriers to entry of any field right now. Like anyone, I may be asking, what are you doing? Like I do coding. Like anyone from the, like whichever department he may be, like I am doing my own things, it is okay. But at least once in his lifetime, he should have attempted, or he may have attempted any like IT job. He may have applied for any IT job. So this is the scenario right now. So like, this whole thing, this whole the development culture, the software development, or whichever maybe you may be calling, this whole thing plays a very important role in the whole thing. Like discussing, when we come together, when we discuss about new ideas, actually we are trying to innovate on something and build creative things together. Like when it comes to getting a job as a developer, there are simply more important things than just a degree. Like consider that, who is more hireable, someone with 3 years of work experience and no degree, or someone with a degree but with an internship experience? Now we can sum it up nicely. There's not really enough information in this whole question to answer it definitely. Both people could be just right for the job. It would depend on what they can actually do, what are the skills they have actually acquired over this whole time. Now, Swadesh, I would want you to continue with this the whole thing. Like, what are the industry standards? How can we bridge this whole gap? How can we build such a community where people can come, they can learn together, they can innovate on things together? And what are our plans for that?
Yeah, thank you for raising some very good points. I would, before continuing, I would like to invite our professor, Professor Ujjwal Maulik of Computer Science Department, and who has multiple degrees and achievements to its name. So, Professor, would you like to is available?
Yes, I is having some audio issues. I can fix it. Till then, you can continue. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can
I'll
continue.
just continue with one of the
Yeah,
seniors, since we have
yeah.
a number of seniors who would like to speak on many topics. One of the aspects of uh, DevHub is the force culture, is increasing the free and open source culture in Jadavpur University. And on that note, I would like to ask my senior Orpon Basu if he's present. Uh, Orponda, are you here? Hello. Yes, Orpon, you can speak.
Yeah, sure. Is there a possibility I could share my screen?
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. Uh, yeah, go on.
Yeah, give me a second. So is the screen visible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So you must have heard the term force in some form or another. So before going into, and I want this to be basically a and some sort of an interactive session. So if you sometimes I will ask some questions and you can answer in the chat if you wish. So before moving on, I wanted to make this clear, and you can even interject with your voice, but please interject after a slide is complete. And so before starting, a brief background. Founders of open source who created the concept of GPL licenses, which actually started this sort of open source culture in general. And he generally focused on the concept of liberty in using and modifying the software rather than just rather than the price component of the software. So this is basically, since there are many first years, I thought this uh, story as such would be something that you would be interested in. And so before going into uh, more details, so can anyone in the chat mention what is actually meant by open source?
Hello.
Yeah, you want to
Open
say
source
something?
actually means whose source code can be modified.
Yeah, okay.
The
Anyone
application
else?
whose source code can be modified.
Yeah. So basically, in short, that is the answer. So here, this is more of a technical definition that the source code is made freely available for possible modification and redistribution. So here, something that some things that we need to clarify is that the source code is available, which means that the actual code and not some precompiled binary is available. Although it is possible to reverse engineer the binary to get the source in some cases, it is very time consuming in nature. So another part is that it is freely available for modification and redistribution. That means that we are free without any burden of copyright claims as such to modify the software and redistribute it to some sort of modification. Now, Stallman initially gave 4 points. That is, we should be able to run the software freely. We should be able to study and change the software as required freely. We should be able to distribute the copies of the original software, and we should also be able to redistribute modified copies as well. So here comes the question, how do these companies then make money? So the short answer is that they make money via services and not the product. While the product is an important component, you also need some trained individuals for actually debugging and related installation purposes. So these services are offered by these organizations. Now, some examples to get you started. This is a very colorful slide. So the top example is perhaps Android, which has Linux at its core, and Apple is also based on Darwin. Darwin is most likely based on BSD Unix, and Chrome is based on Chromium. Then we have React, Angular, and so on. And then we have the machine learning libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, and so on. And my personal favorite is Leeches, which is a completely free chess website, and they even provide the source code and all the server setups in GitHub itself. So apart from these, would anyone like to share their favorite open source projects? Maybe one of you can switch on their mic.
Module.
Yeah. Anyone else?
VS Code.
Yeah, good. VS Code, actually the one directly provided by Microsoft is not the open source version. Nevertheless, there is an open source VS Codium. So now moving on, why should my company or why should I go into open source? So firstly, this from the company perspective, I will quickly go through some issues. Like we have better control and better privacy and security. Like we definitely know that the software does not have any keylogger or such things in it, because the source code is available for us to study. And we also are free from the burden of vendor login. This issue is mainly caused by, say, suppose you go into use some sort of a Google service, then their ecosystem is such that you will be restricted to that Google service itself for any sort of use. Like no other service will provide that the same sort of integration as a Google service. So now there is also the advantage of low or no costs, and there is also the quality that we get, since many people are actually collaborating in the repository. And there are also drawbacks that you can go through later. But why should we focus on open source? So the first most concrete reason would be networking. So about 75% of all jobs are actually via connections, and LinkedIn is a very famous site that offers such a networking facility for skilled people. And apart from this, you will also get experience and various learning opportunities. And this experience will be very useful when you say want to work or apply for any job in the industry. If your CV has something like I contributed to the TensorFlow library, then uh, it makes a very good impact on the interviewer. Of course, I mean that you did not just comment out a line, and that does not fall in experience. And fun is like a bonus thing. This is also fun as well. So as it was mentioned in the beginning, you will also get to know how many programmers work on the same piece of software together, or how people actually work on large code bases, how uh, to document things properly, how to run user debugger, and so on. So I would like to ask the audience that, does anyone know the answer to the first question? How do many programmers work on the same software together?
Using GitHub or any source
Yes.
control.
Yep, right. So I will speak a little on Git and GitHub later. So basically this experience that you get using Git and GitHub will be very helpful when you actually do some job. So essentially this picture highlights that all modern infrastructure is somehow dependent on some piece of open source software. So if somehow uh, I shoot a football into this thing, then the entire software stack will collapse. Specific questions that you would like to ask? Okay, I'm moving on.
Hello, I have a
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
Suppose I have used any open source project in my project. Then
yeah.
after few years, yeah. Suppose that open source software which I use, that not open source. Then I can use the software or not?
Uh, Generally, what you are saying is that from suppose the software has been released in 2020. 2020 entirely it has been under some open source license, and in 2021 it suddenly decides to shift to some copyrighted license. So this is what you are saying.
Yes, yes.
So basically there are some legal issues, but the main thing is that the same point up the say 31st December 2020, there up to that date the actual license was valid, open source. So if you have done something related to open source, like you have modified anything or similar, then you need to actually use you can use everything, but you are restricted up to the version uh, last updated on 31st December. Now you can definitely use the for future versions, but there will be various restrictions, like you cannot freely modify and so on. Does that answer your question?
Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
So now getting started. So various surveys have found that 90% students of various universities want to get into open source, but 5% have actually got started or are actually contributing. So this is a basic outline of how to get started. Firstly, you need to learn Git and GitHub. So this is for collaborating in large repositories. So you can find many resources. Learn gitbranching.js.org in particular is a favorite of mine. This provides a terminal wherein you can uh, actually test out the how things work, and there are many stages as such. And then we have something called a GitHub student pack, and you can use it if you want. It basically provides many free components, Azure credit, MS Azure credits, and so on. And it even gives 2 domains, I think, free for 2 years. But you will need a ID card for this, university ID card. You will need to send this via mail. Then you would need to choose a project, anything you want. So this is from level programming, ML libraries like TensorFlow, servers like Apache Tomcat in Java, and so on. You would also need the prerequisite knowledge. So herein you need to know some basic DSA concepts and so on, and also regarding the software that you need to know. And uh, communication, this is basically you need to subscribe to the mailing list of the communities where you need to or you want to contribute. You can just be like, this is bad, I will fix it. Then the community as such will not accept such things. So that is an issue of communication in general. And a good learning point is GSOC, which is Google Summer of Code. Basically, in the free time that you will get in the summer vacations, you can basically spend time programming on some open source projects. So this is the website summerofcode.withgoogle.com, wherein you can find all the details. So this can be some sort of a jumping point as such. So the ultimate goal is this open source, but this is a sort of a shortcut, you can say. This year, I think you can apply this year. Most likely you will not be selected because the communication issue is there. You need to speak with them and be a member of the community for 6 months or 1 year. But for the experience, you can definitely try this. And finally, you all know why open source is important to both you as an individual and companies as well, how to get started. And so, are there any questions? Let me stop sharing the screen.
Dada, you said about the communication aspect with the company whose open source we want to work. How does that work? Like mailing, joining the mailing list?
Uh, Not only joining, you need to be an active member of the community as well. So for like say some communities have disk. Basically, this can vary what form of communication mode they have, but they can have, say, a Discord server, an IRC chat, or a Gitter chat, etc. So what you need to do is basically you need to first speak with the individuals and learn how things are working, and you need to first propose the change to them. I think that this will be better for the community. Then the founders who are in the IRC or Discord server will speak with each other, and ultimately some sort of a rapport will build up with you and the community. And next, when you say via GSOC, when you apply, they will know that this guy actually knows, so we will select him.
Okay, Dada. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Okay, thank you, Orpunda, for the insightful talk that you gave. And also, we are going to hold a session on FOSS in the near future. So this could be a prerequisite to that, and people can start investigating about GitHub and open source. So thanks a lot for that. Moving on, we have Ujjwal sir with us, and I guess the audio issues are fixed now. Ujjwal sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
So I can start.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
Definitely.
you. Yeah, thank you. So first of all, thank you to all our students. I mean, I think most of you are from Jadavpur University. I don't want to use any slides because I believe that you all are so meritorious. You do not need a slide. Some simple words are good enough for you. So let me think in this way, because just couple of minutes back I was thinking that possibly I am now speaking in front of tomorrow's leader. So many of you will be a CEO after maybe 10 years or 20 years, or you have your own startup, or maybe you will be a good leader of politics or anything. I mean, you can do, because you have exceptional talent. Most of you have. I think all of you have. So let me share some of my experiences. I mean, that is extremely important, because you already know about open source software, sharing of softwares. It's extremely important. I will come to that one a little bit later. So I'm very fortunate that most of my good teachers are my students. So I learned a lot from my own students. So every day I'm learning so much. So I do a lot of deep learning. I do healthcare. Currently, I am mentoring 3 different companies, and most of them are my student. So I can share my experience. So let me start from my class 11's experience. So I was a student of Raura Ramakrishna Mission, and that time during my physics class, 6 of my teachers used to teach us. And I was fortunate that one teacher was teaching us calculus. He was exceptional, but never got more than, I think, 50% marks in his life, but he is exceptional, and he worked with even Niels Bohr. So he was our most popular teacher and favorite teacher in our school days. So he was teaching us calculus, not physics. And that's the reason we understood what is calculus at 11. And most of you possibly learn calculus at 11, but then you understand why you are doing calculus at 12 when you are doing you are solving the problem of statics and dynamics. So now same questions arises like when you are writing a code today. So why you are writing the code? That is extremely important. Very difficult to understand when you are very young. So that's the reason that every system you can design either top down or bottom up fashion, correct? So top down, I mean, when you are starting from philosophical level, and then you come down to the technical level, and bottom up is just the reverse. So what I will argue, all of you do both way, because you have that talent. Not all can do that. You have that talent. So when you are writing a software code, I think when you are writing a software code, you are a little bit not at the bottom, maybe a little bit above bottom. But when you are solving some problem in mathematics, maybe you are in the bottom. So very, very technical thing. But at the same time, if you think towards the top, you try to understand how that is useful for the society, correct? So yesterday I was attending one conference of agriculture. So the lectures was fascinating. And if you want to solve some agricultural problem, you might use some IoT like drone or any kind of IoT. But at the end of the day, what you are looking for? One hand, you are looking for more crops in the same region, maybe more wealth to the farmers and business for some people. So that is the ultimate goal of the society. Please remember that when you are writing a code or doing some maths, how do I relate the societal aspect? That is extremely important. Okay. Now let me come to the sharing part. So every day, like almost every day, many of my students are working in deep learning now, but just developing very good deep learning model. I mean, I do not know whether you have already started courses on deep learning. Maybe you can find some very good course from MIT, Stanford. I mean, many of them are free. Just go through them. And I think in a week you have some idea how deep learning models can be built. So it is very advanced in AI. Now, developing a very good model, deep learning model may take you weeks or maybe months for a simple machine. So the demand is you need a very high sophisticated machine, which is generally very expensive. So now even for a department like us, we cannot have that many times. And for a student like you, it is impossible. So how to have that? So from that, the concept of cloud came. Like there may be some very, very good resources, hardware, software, anything, anywhere in the world. You can use it when you need it. And most of the times you will see that your need is maybe 2-3 days in a month. So why will buy a big machine? So day before yesterday also in my group I was discussing, we have some money now. So whether we'll go for a very big machine or we'll pay the money to the student. Currently, you understand there are many students who do not come to Jadavpur University and those who need more training than Jadavpur University student. So we decided let the money go to the student, okay, from other universities, those who are not still that mature, rather than buying a big machine. Then how we will solve our problem? So we'll hire some big machines whenever it is needed. So in that way, you can reduce the cost. So you already understand that, I mean, when you are developing a software in open source mode, many times you can share it without money, which is extremely important for the society. And at the same time, you should understand how the teamwork is important. Like when you are working in a company, you will see that most of the code you will be writing, it is not even 20,000, 30,000. It's a huge, huge, big project. So a whole team will be involved into that. So if you know this kind of teamwork, it is extremely useful for you, because your code writing style will be changed. I'm talking about code writing only. Even you will see when you write a code as a student and when you write a code as a professional, there's a complete change, because your code should be reused by anybody. I remember in 1999, I was in Australia. So I was doing a postdoc and I was given a 10,000 line code. It was on a special computer vision 3-dimensional, it's called Heleba packet, and there was a Heleba software and the C code was embedding into that. And the professor told me, can you see the problem? There's a debugging 2-dimensional, it's working very well, but as soon as we are going to the 3-dimensional, it's not working. So I'm very fortunate and lucky I could solve the problem in 2 days. But 10,000 lines, another one's code, solving that in 2 days is not easy. It is better to write your own code if it is not professionally written. And academics, most of the times we don't write our code professionally. So as soon as you have a teamwork, you will understand how to write code professionally. And so you already understand writing code professionally, doing maths. So basically you are in the bottom part, you are doing the technical part, correct? At the same time, think about the society. That is important. Let me talk about more detail about some of the companies I was mentoring. So one company I was mentoring, it was using some of our works. It is AI for genomics. So my group is extremely strong in genomics, and AI is genomics is a hot topic now. Now, what is the goal of that company? The goal is like that. Assume that you have a particular disease, maybe disease X. I also have the same disease X. We both go to a doctor, and nowadays, doctor give us the same medicine. But if you think very carefully, I mean, we are two different people. Our genomic material are different. So can we have the same medicine or same set of medicine? Answer is no. So why the doctor is giving the same medicine? Possibly the doctor may not have enough knowledge. So can we build the expert system to help the doctor? And in the expert system in the background, maybe you can analyze all the genomic data. So sequence alignment, genomic data is becoming more and more important. Like you go for a checkup. Nowadays, doctor give you blood test, urine test. So in US, it is becoming common. They will go for sequencing also, your genome sequencing, and you can have your genome in your pen drive. It is becoming common in USA, and the cost is around $1,000. If it is come down to $100, it will be more common to India also. So this kind of research is going on. So correct. So basically, it is called precise medicine or personalized medicine. So two people have the same disease may have two different set of medicine. So this is one. Another student, another of my student who is working with me in intelligent autonomous car, we use a lot of deep learning tool to do that kind of research on intelligent autonomous car. So he's telling me a story just day before yesterday that nowadays when you are writing software for intelligent car, then what you do, you first try to find for what car you are writing the software. Is it like Mercedes-Benz or Volvo or some other car, Audi? So accordingly, you can write your software. But nowadays, a lot of money people are putting. Can you write a generalized software such that it will be useful for all the different kind of cars? So you understand, every car has a different way. Like, I mean, their brakes are different. Their all architectures are different. So can you write a generalized software? So all companies are extremely now extremely interested to have this kind of software, which is more general. So as soon as you do that, you understand your whole software engineering thing will change quite a lot. Your verification, validation, everything will differ. Correct. So these are the current trend. Precision medicine, software for generalization. So these are the future. Correct. Similarly, if you think about IoT, same. So the idea is that, so when you write code, you need to write code for more general things. And you have to write code in a teamwork, as a teamwork, not an individual. You will have a module, another one will run another module, and all those modules will be clapped together. You can write your code in your own language. Another person can write in another language. Then somebody will link all of them. Correct? So you understand. But at the same time, please, because you all are very intelligent. At the same time, you are going through a university, which is a very socially affiliated university. You all know that our tuition fees is very low, such that any student can go, and those who have a chance, who have already got a chance, they can come into the university and learn almost without money. So we should be very careful about how to help the society also. So in that way, so you go beyond your coding. Maybe your coding and mathematics are the tool by which you will be solving the problem. But try to solve some problem, maybe in economics, maybe in sociology, maybe in agriculture, maybe in biochemistry. So there are a lot of problems by which you can help the society. And at the same time, be very careful. That let me share you another thing. Another company was asking me to mentor. They do a lot of good software on cloud. So I was asking with my student, because we do a lot of work in cloud. But he told me, sir, it is as soon as you are running the business, the kind of tool we can develop in the academic sector. We cannot use that tool when you are doing business. So you have to take license. Correct. So this licensing things are extremely important. I think when you will join this group, you will understand everything. The legal right, the licensing thing, what you can use, where you can contribute, all these things will be clear for you. So I congratulate DevHub to have such a platform. If I was a student, I was so lucky to join this group. And at the same time, remember, all of us are human beings. We are here to help each other. Not only Jadavpur students, there are a lot of students who are not fortunate enough to get chance in Jadavpur or IIT or ISI. Please help them also. Correct. So they may not have enough resources. Maybe they do not have a machine. So can you share your machine with them? Can you share the kind of software? So that way you can help the society from the beginning. And tomorrow when you will be a leader, you can think beyond that. And I expect that all of you will be meeting that. And I'm very happy that I could see that a lot of students, almost 80 students are there. And I sincerely believe that with your strength, the days to come, you will do definitely wonder. And I request DevHub Club also that Jadavpur University has a great alumni. So please invite some of our very senior alumni from time to time and ask our student to attend their lecture, because you will learn a lot from our alumni also. Correct. Nowadays it is very easy because somebody can talk from USA. You won't have to pay the flight charge and everything. At the same time, they are Jadavpur alumni, so very easily you can interact with them. And tomorrow you may work in their companies also, and or maybe in their labs also. But at the end of the day, when you will be matured, little bit more matured, think about the society more, and please contribute back to the society. So thank you very much. So if you have any questions, I'm free, or ask me later on whenever we will meet. I hope that we will meet each other very soon, maybe in a month or two, and we'll meet face to face. And if you have any questions or anything, comment, you can tell me now or maybe later when we'll meet face to face. So thank you once again, and big congratulations to DevHub for your effort. Thank you,
sir. Thank you, sir. Indeed, teamwork is our motto, and obviously, we have some alumni talks arranged for the future, so we will also look into that as well. So, thanks a lot again.
Thank you very much. So any student has a quick question, I can answer, because I will be joining to another meeting. But I can answer 2-3 questions quickly if you have.
Okay.
Or maybe face to face we can meet. I will be here. So Jadavpur University will meet and we will talk to you face to face also. Any question quickly?
Anyone?
But all of you are extremely intelligent, please remember. So you can do a lot and contribute a lot to the society. So that is very, very important.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Okay, so we shall move on to the next portion. So firstly, we should I'll just give a brief overview about what is DevHub. Most of it has already been told by Shahnaz, so I'll just give a brief overview. So we want to create a learning environment for everyone. So everyone means everyone. I mean, there's no such thing as it's a junior thing or a senior thing. So everyone is invited and free to share their knowledge, to learn, to share their code, anything they want to do here. There is a platform for sharing knowledge and open source projects. So if you have some open source project, if you have any ideas, if you want to share it, if you want to show it, then this is a platform for you. There's also a competitive environment where we will hold time to time hackathons, contests, and many more events in the coming days. So that aspect is also with DevHub, and here we'll find like-minded individuals. As most of our previous speakers have said that while individuality must not be lost, yet finding like-minded individuals is an important aspect, because obviously we can learn from each other. There will be also be regular knowledge sharing sessions. We will be starting them as soon as possible. So that we have that as well. And our tracks that we have made as of now, firstly we have the FOSS development. So we will be starting with FOSS actually. So we have the FOSS development, then we have competitive programming. This will be a combination of data structures and algorithms and competitive programming as well. So we have both of them in that track. Third, we have web or app development. So anyone who's interested in web and app development can join us on this track, the artificial intelligence track. And finally, the cloud computing track. I guess I don't need to talk much about it, because the name says it all. And before we move on, I would like to ask one of my seniors to give a further insight into their experience. Deveshda, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Gautam.
Okay.
Okay, so like I can give I can share my experience on the industry where I worked for 2 months. So that would be okay, I guess. Yeah. So first thing is that the code we write right now in college, from first year to fourth year, is not up to a standard that would be used in industry. It would be like straight away rejected. From my personal experience, when I joined Amazon, they gave me a task to write a code to complete one API. So I did it in first week, and the code was like around 80 to 90 lines. But then it was rejected, and 2 months later, the same code with all the inputs and everything, taking care of security, scalability, maintainability, and using better coding practices. The same code was now about 4,000 lines. And we have to add unit tests, everything. So there is a huge gap between what we learn in our coding classes and what is actually required. So this gap should be quickly covered by everyone. So in basic classes also, in your lab classes also, we should begin with that. We should like start with proper coding practices so that you know what you are doing. You will come across times where you have done an assignment and 3 months later you are not able to understand that code. So that should not be there. Second, as I said by Arpan, communication is a very important topic. Along with that, you must have soft skills so that you can explain your ideas. You should be able to show bias, that you should prove that whether you are correct or wrong in a decision. Basically, when you are in a company with 10 people, they may like your ideas may be ignored, or they will say that you have to think more. But maybe you are right. So you have to show bias for your action, and always insist on highest standards of code. Don't settle for less. So, uh, okay, in nowadays in development, we see we have apps, but when we compare it with other apps, we see there is a lack of quality in Indian apps as compared to the ones made in foreigners. So we must, if DevHub is actually doing web development, app development, and going on this track, it must focus on making a quality and come to the highest standards of app, so that customers are satisfied. We come to the place where we have apps and which gets used for 6 months and then later it is discontinued. So from start, we have to make that practice to do just to our customers. That's all I have to say. Uh, so anything that I can talk about? Any other questions? Any questions?
Okay, okay. Deveshta, I guess if anyone asks any questions, then they will say it in the chat. You can always ping Deveshta on the chat and then ask him questions. Thank you, Deveshta, for inspiring us and for giving some time to this session and inspiring all those who want to become a developer in the future. Thank you. Okay.
Actually, Professor Sanjay sir would have come next, but he's facing some audio issues, so internet problems maybe. So we can continue with others who are here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Next, I would like to call Irene D, who I guess is here. Irene D or Irene D. I'm very sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. You are audible.
Uh, what am I supposed? Hello, everyone. My name is Irene, and I'm currently in my 4th year. So, my classmates are here, and they know that I am not really the most studious person. This is like it's a disclaimer from my side. So, whatever I speak about, you can take it like this is the lazy person's guide to somehow doing something. So about my experience, so when I joined like when I came in my 1st year, what happened is I had no knowledge what computer science is. I had no idea what it's about. I thought I took it up because it was the right thing to do with the whatever the WebG rank was, and I felt I felt really out of place. And like then you come across your classmates and they're so interested and they know so much and they're doing such wonderful things, and you feel like, Are Baba, how will I ever manage with all of these guys? So if any of you, in your 1st year, you're feeling like that, let me tell you, it doesn't matter. There is a difference between knowledge, interest, and your capabilities. Ultimately, this is a science subject. So if you're good in science, if you're good at problem solving, you will be good at this. You don't need to be a tech guy or a tech enthusiast to do something, do something in this field. So like my piece of advice would be, if you want to do something in computer science, whether it's getting a job or you want to do research, is that stop focusing on the things that make you look cool or make you look like a hacker. Like you will see, like you will get in 1st year and you see many people are doing a lot of stuff. They're doing a lot of things you have no idea about. They like a lot of high-end development things, like what they're doing, a lot of fancy things, and it looks cool and you want to know everything about everything. So my advice would be, stop doing that. Stop trying to chase whatever the trend is and try to learn how to solve problems, because no matter what the domain is, your problem solving capabilities is what makes you better and different and more employable. They will employ you not because of how much you know or how many new technologies you know. They will employ you because of the way you think, because technologies that are trendy or are in use now will not be there in the next 10 years. And so then if you're just as good as the number of things you know, you're not going to be staying for a long time. So so if I'm saying that don't learn don't jump into learning 10 programming languages or the latest toolkit or something. So what am I suggesting? What should you do? Learn how to solve problems. The best way to do is do competitive coding, because you will learn how to code, and also you will learn how to solve problems. Focus on being a good learner. So what makes a person a good learner? How do you become a good learner? You need to learn, you need to be able to organize new information in your head in an effective way and then extract the information as and when required. So who is good at doing that? People who can find a pattern, who can find some kind of reasoning, and who have a very whose mind is, you can mug up a lot of information only if you can find some kind of a reasoning or a pattern behind it. It's impossible for people to mug up stuff if you don't really know what's happening. So this like if you what am I saying? I'm saying like you need to be a good problem solver, but then you join and whatever they're using, you have no idea. But you should have the capability to learn that quickly, to pick up new information quickly, and you will be able to do that if you have a very sound idea of the basics. That is, you know how to learn new things, and you know your how to apply them in solving a problem. Whatever the technology is, it does not matter. Whatever job you join, whatever company or whatever research you're doing, they will give you at least a week to learn the technology. It does not matter. Like there are so many people who say that I'm into coding. They're not even computer science people, but they're not earning as much, or they're not as what to say, they're not really there are so many different types of jobs in IT. You don't want to do the clerk level job, right? And what makes you different from the technical clerk is that you know how to think, and they just know how to write a code. Everybody can write 10 lines of code, but everybody does not know how to solve a problem. And lastly, I would like to end by saying, don't be afraid, don't underestimate yourself. If there is an opportunity at hand, take the opportunity and think about if you'll be able to do good at it or not later. Take it, accept it as a challenge, and then put in your best effort. And since you guys are already here, you guys are very intelligent, so it's not going to be difficult. You are going to do great at it. In terms of like my actual experience, I could say these are the things that helped me. I took part in as many competitions as I could in my first years and second years, so that I would have a CV to show, which is my guideline, that if you're in your first year, try to make your CV as diverse and as interesting as possible. Then in like before the internships and all, do some do whatever they're going to ask you in the interviews. If you know how to solve problem, if you know your data structures and algorithm, it's not going to be that difficult. So, and then when you go to your place of work, put your 100%, learn, be a good communicator. Like you are doing everything, and then after like 30 days you come up with the solution. Nobody wants that. And in fact, like try to guide, like if wherever you're working, you're not going to be working alone, you're going to be working with the team. Learn to communicate with them, learn to be modest, or learn to be open to change. If somebody suggests something different, don't be like, nah, my code is 100% right, this is it, there's nothing better than that. No, it can always be better. You can always take input, you can always have 10 versions and then choose whatever the right thing is. And in fact, this is an open source development like this. And so in an open source, you are going to be working with a lot of new people. Learn to be respectful and be open to change. Another thing, like this is an advice I give, I say is like, if you're sitting for an interview, like a very interview specific thing that you can say a trick is that if they ask you a question, don't sit blank for 30 minutes and then come up with the best solution. The better idea is they're giving you a question, work them through your thought process at every step, what you're thinking, communicate with them, and they will realize that you are somebody who knows how to think. So the moral of the story is you need to be someone who knows how to think, who knows how to analyze a problem and come up with the solution. And even if the solution isn't correct, you should have that kind of organization and that skill to be able to work through it, to work with other people to come up with the solution. So the best thing for you guys to do now is like focus on building your CV, do a lot of diverse activities, become like enjoy your college life, and then if you're intelligent, life will be fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Arindi, for all the insights about the industry field and also about inspiring all those who are actually new to computer science in the first year. Thanks a lot. One thing I would like to say that the disclaimer that you gave is indeed opposite to what your CV actually says.
But my teachers are here now in the chat. Ask them how many classes I do and ask my classmates and they will tell you. The disclaimer is necessary here.
Okay. Thanks a lot for coming. Thanks.
Thank you.
So we move on to our next senior, Anindoda, who is actually the placement coordinator for the academic year 2020-2021. So Anindoda, are you present here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can start.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Manu Chakraborty from Computer Science fourth year. So today I've been asked to give insights into how the placement season works and what are the placement opportunities for the different departments. So as I know that in the students who are in DevHub, there are a variety of students from different departments, right? So placement opportunities. First of all, you have to get this clear that placement opportunities are not similar in all departments, right? And you also have to get this clear that if you are talented, you will get the opportunity, right? So be someone being from a CSIT background, he will get more opportunities for coding related jobs. But someone from a core branch or suppose another circuit branch, he will have limited opportunities, but he will have opportunities. So if you are talented, you can get proper placements. So to there is nothing to draw you back from that, right? So what happens in Jadavpur University is the placement season occurs throughout the whole year, right? So it starts in around September or August mostly. This year it was in September due to the COVID scenario, and it continues up till the next year, May, June, right? So unlike in the IITs where the placement season occurs in phases, as most of you might know, that in IITs there are in one phase there are 10 days of placements taking place. So a huge number of companies come there. But in our case, the placements occur throughout the year, and there are multiple companies who approach us for taking students who are like they look for the right candidate, right? Every company looks for the right candidate. So for the CSIT companies, they mostly come in the first 2 to 3 months of the placement season. So that is where we say the cream of these students that are placed, right? So the most talented students are placed there. There are some companies who allow all the departments to sit for the placements, but there are some companies who allow only CS and IT students or the circuit branches. The circuit branches mostly include computer science, information technology, electronic telecommunication, electrical engineering, instrumentation and electronics engineering, and in some cases power engineering. So there are varieties of companies who allow like different students to sit for the placements, right? So as I said earlier, that the opportunities for CSIT students will be more, but if you are from a non-CSIT branch, you will have opportunities, but they will be limited. So you have to crack them. Now, coming into the experiences, the thing which is most required to get placement is the complete grasp over, not complete, but a lot of grasp over data structures and algorithms, right? This is a huge amount, huge part of the placement process. Like every company has first an online coding round. This round is solely based on data structures and algorithms, right? Post this, after selection, they might have one technical or two technical interview rounds, followed by an HR round. That is completely dependent on the company. And in the few companies, they have an apti round also. Like it is a general aptitude kind of round where there is logical reasoning, English, and then lots of other like what you get in CAT, kind of that, along with coding. So if you are preparing for the most important of the companies, they mostly prefer only coding questions for the first round, and there it focuses on data structures and algorithms. Now coming into the interview part, for the interviews, of course you need data structures and algorithms. Along with that, there are four topics which I think are the most important. They are object-oriented programming principles, right? Next we have operating systems. Then we have DBMS or database management systems and computer networking. These are the core CS subjects which the company wants to test your knowledge in. Like some of the companies, they maybe they would ask only operating system questions, but they wouldn't go into the networking subject or DBMS subject. But that is dependent on the company. But in general, if I have to say, like most of the companies, they look for data structures and algorithms, OOPS, DBMS, OS, and networking. So these are the things which you have to like make clear before you sit for the best of the companies. And as for practice, lead code is the god. That's all I can say. Like you can practice all day, all night on lead code. Not all day, all night. Like throughout the year, just keep practicing. That will make you better, and you'll be able to clear the rounds. And also, practice will help you understand the topics, and you'll be able to express yourself more in the interviews, right? So that is a huge part in getting the job process. And the last point is, along with all these technical skills and knowledge, you should have good soft skills to get a job. Soft skills are very important. Like you have to, like some of the companies mostly they think that good English speaking is required for the job. So that depends on the company. So I would suggest everyone to at least have a bit of English speaking habit before sitting, so that you don't have any problems regarding that. That is not highly important, but some companies prefer that, so it's better to just have a practice of that. So yeah, that is all I had to say. Any questions, anything, I'm open to answer.
Yeah, thank you so much. So from here, I would like to take over. Thank you for your talks on the placement. It was really valuable for all of us. And hey, Swadesh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So next we can have a next speaker. We Shubhayan Ghosh Dostidar. He is a UG3 CSE student. Shubhanda, are you here? Okay, no problem. While Shubhanda, we solve this issue, we can go to Pitida, who is also the UG3 CSE student. Pitida is
Has
supposed to be
he?
here, right?
He
He
hasn't
came.
joined yet.
He's joined it. I saw him joining.
Yeah, Swadesh, let's do one thing. Let's proceed to the DSC thing in the meantime.
Okay. Vishagda is here. Vishagda?
I don't think he's here. He may be engaged in something else. Let's see.
Okay, then we can
Yep.
proceed to the DSC part. Okay. So you
Okay.
Shanwas?
Chandan sir has arrived. Anyway, so sir may be speaking after this. So let's continue with the DSC part. Can you please bring it up the slide, that thing?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah. So all of you may be aware of what is a DSC, like Developer Student Clubs. It's a community which is actually under Google. I mean, they actually fund and support this whole thing. It's a Google initiative. It's Developer Student Clubs. So how many of you are aware of this? What is a DSC, or maybe heard of that? You can write in chat. I mean, what is your idea of what is a DSC? Many of you maybe might have taken part in some of their activities. Like they're quite a lot. They're active in the Kolkata branch. Like what is DSC? So DSC, they are the developer student clubs. They are university-based community groups for the students who are interested in Google technologies, but not restricted to only that. They may be interested in any technologies. So we are officially bringing here the Developer Student Club Jadavpur University, this Jadavpur University chapter. So we make sure that the technological gap between the students and the emerging technologies is reduced through practical projects, etc. And we focus more on the practical implementation of the technology to build solutions to real life problems. Now, taking here this, what Ujjwal sir said previously, that build something for social good, build something for your community that you can give back to your community. So build on that. If you want to build, if you want to add to your resume, or if you want to, if you want to build something which would carry some value, so build something through which you can give back to your community, build something to which creates a social impact. So here DSC, it provides a peer-to-peer learning environment where students can learn from other students and build solutions together. So there are over 1266 developer student clubs in over 100 countries around the world. So you will be part of this global community. Now the DSCs help solve such a crucial problem that many college students all over the world face. While learning, for example, software engineering, we all are made to learn so much theory, which I think is incredibly important. We call ourselves techies, right? But a lot of ourselves want to get our hands dirty. What Developer Student Clubs offers to students is that it is the bridge between the theory and the practice. We here at DSCJU, in fact, all DSCs, it's not like you have one person learning something else. It's a platform for an inclusive peer-to-peer learning process where everybody can discuss among themselves and learn together. You will be building solutions for major problems that we face today. We operate on three principles: connect, learn, and grow. You meet people with similar interests and connect with them to learn together. We'll be helping learn a wide range of technologies through hands-on workshops, in-person training, and project building activities. It will help you grow in your career as well as develop your soft skills and enrich your network as we go along. Just like Irene said, that your soft skills is also carries a great value. Anindada would also agree on that. So in the DSC, I mean the developer student clubs, so we have a few rules like developer student clubs. What are they basically aimed at? They are aimed at empowering students to build solutions for social good. So if you have any project in mind, be it any personal project or any project for social good, any application or business solution you want to build, you can contact us at the DSC. We'll be guiding you in all the technical aspects and help you complete your project with all the resources we have. There may be various opportunities for you here at the DSC. There would be hands-on workshops, there would be expert tech talks, there would be study jams where people would come and they would like learn a specific topic which may be very important and maybe helping you a lot building your projects. Then we will be having boot camps on like web development, machine learning, anything like there will be interesting topics which will help you learn by practically doing a project. There will be now in the coming month, in the March, April, there will be Explore ML session where people will be learning machine learning, the basics technologies from the zero level. There will be mentoring sessions and there will be project guidance, which will help you complete your projects and which will help you build something which you can actually deploy into production. Now there's a process by which you can enroll in the Developer Student Club Jadavpur University. We'll be having regular sessions now it's online due to this COVID situation. Once the physical classes start, we'll be having the regular sessions for the Developer Student Club. You can also Google this Developer Student Club and you maybe get to know the details about this, what it is actually aimed for, what it helps to solve, and how it can actually help you. So to join the DSCGU, you can go on to this link bit.ly/DSCGU and enroll yourself. Now, this DevHub would be your point of contact for this DSCJU. So anything you want to address regarding DSC, you need to go on and contact the DevHub team. And after I mean, once you're a part of the DevHub team, you will be able to easily access these resources for DSC and another thing which is coming up right after this. Actually, we have a DSC lead, Bishak Mandal. So Bishakda is currently not present. He's actually stuck in some work. So we'll be meeting in the future sessions. So then we can introduce with him. Swadesh, can you take over?
Thank you. So I hope you have understood what developer student clubs are and how we are linked with developer student club. So I guess before we start about our view of Hack Club, I would like to share what the founder of Hack Club himself had to say about this. Just 1 second, I'll just share the video. Actually, he is in USA, so he had to record a video and then he sent it to us. Shanas, could you confirm that the video is visible and as well as the audio is.
Yeah, so people may be wondering what is actually Hack Club. Hack Club is actually, it's a community, a similar type like Developer Student Club, but both have different aims. Like Developer Student Club is actually focused to building some things for the social good, so that it creates an impact for everyone so that you can give back something to your community and your society. What Hack Club is, it is a similar type of community but for creative coding. It actually provides a platform where you can come together, you can build solutions, you can talk about anything and everything, and you can like get tons of resources, help from everybody, and like regular sessions and regular interactions with everyone. Like it's a global community for all of us. So let's go forward with the video. Let's see what Hack Club's founder actually has to say about us.
Could you just confirm if it is audible?
Yeah, it is visible.
My name is Zach Lana, and I'm
audible.
Audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audible.
Okay.
You can continue.
Yeah, I'm just starting it. 1 second. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Zach Lana, and I'm the founder of Hack Club. And I just wanted to create this quick video to welcome you to the new Hack Club at Jadavpur University. I am so excited to be welcoming you to Hack Club. I started Hack Club when I was 16, 8 years ago, to create what I so desperately wish I had when I was in high school. I grew up like many of you, I imagine. I was interested in computers. I didn't have a lot of friends that shared my interests, and I was just desperate to figure out how they worked and see if I could make things like apps and games and websites. I spent a huge amount of my time on the internet trying to meet friends and others who shared my interests. But I just couldn't find other people like me at the schools that I went to. I dropped out of high school when I was 16. I moved out of my parents' home. I moved to San Francisco to become a programmer, where I helped make an app that became the #1 app on the App Store. And I started Hack Club to create the community that I so desperately wish I had. And now to think where I'm making this video in Vermont in the United States, and you're starting a Hack Club and joining a Hack Club all the way in Kolkata, India, it's just the biggest honor in the world for me to be able to welcome you to the community. At Hack Club, we learn to code through making things. We're builders, we're hackers, we're people that believe that if only we can figure out how computers work and ask why until we can't ask why anymore, maybe we can understand the world around us and understand the universe around us. I hope you'll have a chance to take advantage of the broader community in Hack Club, not only in India, but in the rest of APAC and across the world. And if you ever join the Hack Club Slack, please feel free to send me a message. My username is @ZRL, and I'm just so happy, honored, humbled, and thrilled to be able to welcome you to the community. I hope you have an amazing first meeting, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I guess you understood what Hack Club is, and I'm thankful to Zach Lata for sending this video, taking time and shooting this video. We have prepared a small slide to tell you more about what Hack Club is. Just 1 minute. Okay, so at Hack Club, you never code alone. There's a community, and we together build some code. But again, individuality is not lost. The philosophy is by the students and for the students. As you saw, Zach Lata himself was a student when he started this Hack Club. So again, we are students following in his footsteps and building this community. And it is, again, the Hack Club community is also maintained by students as well. Okay, we have Preeti with us. Okay, so why Hack Club? Because first of all, there's a large community with about 400 clubs across the globe and 10,000 of students. Here you can ship excellent code, gain real world skills, and build inspiring projects. So if you have some project and you want to share it with the world, with Hack Club community, you can upload it on Scrapbook, the Hack Club Scrapbook. And here you can showcase your skills and explore and build and see what other people are doing. So there's a ton of projects, and there's something to learn for everybody out here. the weekly AMA session, which was a highlight for the hack clubs, because Elon Musk came recently, I guess the last year. So we had Elon Musk with who everybody knows. Okay, so I don't need to talk about that. There was Jack Conte, CEO of Patreon. There was Guillermo Rock, who was CEO of Vercel. Audrey Tang, the digital minister of Taiwan, and Patrick Collision, and many more people who joined the weekly AMA session, which is held fortnightly, and the details of which you can get at the Slack channel. We'll be discussing about that a few minutes later. So we also have the Hack Nights at Hack Club, which again is okay.
People may be having doubts regarding what is AMA. AMA session. AMA means ask me anything.
Oh, ask me anything sessions. That's a ask me anything session where you can actually ask anything to the personality who is coming and visiting Hack Club. So any questions that you have, you might ask him. So it's open to all, who are part of the Hack Club community. So the Hack Nights, where you can build something, you can talk with people. It's like you're interacting with people across the globe. So Hack Night is for that, and it is weekly, not only weekly live coding, but also meeting other people. So there is no prize and expectation, that's just fun. So that's about Hack Night, and that's actually what Hack Club is. There will be no prize, no expectations. You just have fun. You will learn about coding. The knowledge that you gain from others, from learning, from sharing, that is what is most important. And at the Hack Club Slack channel, we have many channels for every interest. So there will be more than thousands of public channels where you can start with coding. You have support, you have LGBTQ community, you have photography, you have account to a million. So there's a lot.
So it will be better if you can give them a live overview. Like
actually I am planning for that after some time when we are talking about the overboarding section. So there I'll show.
All right.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. And so many more surprises to come. Hack Club has lots to offer, and it does not say previously that okay, I'm doing this. This is something you will get. It will come as a surprise to you. So join if you join Hack Club. If you're joining DevHub, you are joining Hack Club. So then you will get all the surprises. And finally, you can join us on Slack. I'll be showing you how to join Hack Club, how to join DevHub and DSC as well. So DSC is also shared, so the rest. So that's it from the Hack Club portion. I hope that you have got an overview of our Hack Club. Before going on to the portion where we will be showing you how to join us, how to join Hack Club, I guess we have a few speakers who have joined us. So Shahnaz, should we go on with that? I mean, ask seniors or if professor is also available.
Sure. Yeah, Pritijit is here. Pritijit, just got disconnected, I think. Yeah. He just got disconnected.
Anyone, Shubhanda, Pritijit or Bishakta, anyone is out here? Or Sanjay sir, if he is present. If not, then we can move on to the portion. We will show you how you can join us.
Yeah, he's not here currently. You can carry on with the onboarding. That thing.
Okay. Wait a second. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So, okay. So just like you joined with us through the link judh.in, we have now changed that link to joining us as a member. So if you go to judh.in now, then you will go to the URL gods.in/onboard/member, where you can join by entering your name. I just enter my name, my email ID. Okay. Contact number. Okay.
Yeah, you can put in some dummy values also.
Yeah, I'll put in some dummy value, but do not put in some dummy value, because after this is an OTP registration, and you will be stopped at that. I won't show it beyond that. So that's why I'm putting a dummy value, but you will have an OTP registration. So you have to put in a correct value for both your email and as well as mobile number. So as we go here, then you will find that there's a request OTP button, and here you can go and request for an OTP. So our OTP will go to your mail, and you, after you enter, then there will be a page where we will show you the terms and conditions and all the code of conduct which you should go through, because that's an important part of any community. After that is done, you will receive 3 mails from us. One mail regarding about how to join us on GitHub and on other platforms. One invite from GitHub, our GitHub repo. I'll just show you our GitHub organization. I am sorry, which is at github.com/DevHub. And this is a private organization. So after you receive the invite and accept the invite, only then you can see what's here. But okay, you can't see these because these are private repos. So these two will not be visible. And here, if you go to the teams section, here you will find all the tracks. AI Cloud Core Team is for us, CPDSA, FOSS, Python applications, and app and web dev. So you can join all these teams for any coding, or since obviously DevHub is built on coding, so for any code that we want to share with you, or maybe we are having some open source projects, all these will be available here under the various teams. Okay, so that thing is done. Secondly, you will receive a Slack invite for Hack Club. So if you go to that, then I'll just open the Hack Club Slack channel. Where I have already joined here, but firstly you won't see all of it. You will come to this 8 Gasosaurus tutorial, where you will get through all some questions, and then you will have to answer them, and only then you will be able to join, and you will get all these channels. As you can see, I have joined AI announcements, code, DevHub is here. You can search for DevHub. You get the DevHub. We haven't started anything, so it's empty. You can go to any other. If you go to lobby, you'll find lots and lots of people out here who are talking, and then you will also get replies because there's lots of people out here. So and also, if you want to browse channels, you can see there are 1,131 channels. So lots there to explore. Okay, so this part is done. The Hack Club Slack channel. Also, you have the announcements section here, where I can show you what announcements you can get all the announcements out here. So there's lots happening over here. So okay.
So Hack Club is really interesting. I mean, there's a lot to explore.
Yeah,
so people may be
also,
imagining like
they also have some coins of this. They also have some coins, so you can redeem certain things using coins. I am not quite aware of what it does, but it does something. Okay.
Yeah, so there's
Moving.
a lot of things to explore.
Uh-huh.
Now, like people are wondering, like, how does DevHub work? So, we actually work, I mean, all the communication, like people who DevHub is a community. So, like people who will be joining DevHub, who will be joining the community. So, we need to give them a platform where they can communicate with each other. For that, we don't prefer WhatsApp, we only prefer Slack, because Slack is something a kind of very organized thing, and it's actually targeted for people for collaborations like this. So when you join DevHub, you join the Slack channel, our Slack organization actually, and there are different channels. Like you can join if you want to join any track, like you want to join AI, you want to join cloud, you want to join the CPDSA or anything like advanced Python applications, anything. So like you join that respective channel. All channels, all the tracks channels are actually open. You can join and leave anytime you want. So all the discussions will be going on in that, and all the sessions that we may be holding, like all the regular knowledge sharing sessions and all on various topics on any projects which may be going on, like anything, any event coming up. So all of that will be shared in this Slack organization. So once you get onboarded, once you get the link, you get yourself registered, so start exploring what are the other things, so you can find yourself. So there are various channels, you can go and just explore them. And along with this, we are working as that GitHub organization which Swadesh already showed. So that is there are various discussion forums under different tracks. So you can just open any one, like click on one, and say for example you want to join the AI track. So under that, there will be discussion sessions, there will be members, there will be repos. I mean, the repos will consist of the projects or maybe the things you're building under this AI track, or like any files or any resources we want to share following any sessions of AI, or similarly with any other tracks also. So all of that will be collected and they will be maintained here. And so this is it. The GitHub organization is that where we share resources, where we share code, where we collaborate with each other. And Slack is the place where we communicate with each other, where we get to know about things, where we get to know about what are the things going on, what are the things coming up, and all those things. And the rest of the things will be communicated via mail. So this is how DevHub works, and the registration links are open right now. So you can log on to judh.in and you can get yourself onboarded or registered. And the sessions will be coming up in like 1 or 2 weeks. So we'll be starting off with our first session, which may be on one will be on free and open source. Then we'll be proceeding with the GitHub and all those, and then we'll be also be starting the others, the CPDSA sessions, and the maybe also with the cloud computing these sessions. So all of this will be kicking off in the next 1 or 2 weeks. So join fast and keep an eye on the Slack organization. We'll be sending the updates there. Also, in DevHub, you can join us as a member and as a team. So what are the when you want to join as a member, it's like I will be learning something, I'll be engaging with the community, then you join as a member. And when we join DevHub as a team, so like they'll be volunteering the whole thing, they would help DevHub continue, and like it's a administrative part. So someone who may be skilled in, like say the production, or maybe some developing websites, or maybe some who is especially skilled in graphic designing, or maybe video editing, or maybe like he's quite efficient in app developing, who so we have different administrative works also within the whole team, which makes DevHub running. So for those things, people can join DevHub team. And for those people who only want to attend sessions and we get to learn some things, we get to be a part of the whole community, they can join DevHub as a member. For the joining us as a team, we'll be releasing the forms very soon. And for joining the members, it's already live. You can log on to judh.in and get yourself registered as a member.
Also, if you have any problems in registering, if you did not get the 3 mails that you are supposed to get, first of all, do check in your other tabs as well as your spam folder. So after that, even if you didn't get them, then you can contact us. And for any support, you can contact us at care@judh.in. So you can write us email or any support that you want. So Are we having any, Shanad, are we
So
having any
people,
speaking
people
questions?
may be interested. People may be interested to know the DevHub team. So let's introduce that.
No, I'm saying that are
Yeah.
we over with the speakers? I mean,
I think
no one.
yes. I mean, Shwanda was to say something. So Shwanda is not here currently, as I'm noticing. Pritijida is currently also not here. So yeah, so we'll be meeting them in the session, sir. This is just the beginning. So this is just the beginning, and things will be coming
Okay.
on one after the other. Yeah, will we getting to meet them? So
And also, we are not over yet. So if you think
yeah,
that it's over, so we are not over yet. So be with us for some more time, and the real part is actually coming. So the real thing that is the discussion with everyone, knowing what you want. That is actually the most important part of any orientation session. So what the members want is how the club runs, right? So
yeah. So
so
like
there's a
this like 9-10 of us and cannot take this whole community forward. What we need is everyone's participation. Everyone should come forward. They should put in their contributions. They should put in whatever they have to contribute to this whole community. Only then we can make this community a success, and it is really going to prosper if everyone like takes active participation. Like if anyone wants to join the team, like if anyone is specialized in any like content writing, he or she can join us. If anyone is interested in designing, he or she also can join us. So we welcome everyone who want to contribute, even as a team or a member. And the only thing we need to say is that come forward and speak up. So this community is only for all of us. There is nothing like some seniors, some these are the core team, this is the this team, and all these things. We all are on the same page. We learn from everybody, and when we know something better than others, we may be sharing our knowledge with that person. So in this way, we all can learn together and build something good and make this community a success. So there's anything we are left with?
we're left with the most important part, and that is communicating with the members, those who are attending the session. So first of all, anybody would like to speak up anything before we start? I mean, any question or we ask any specific question. So anyone would like to contribute or say something or ask any question, anything?
Anyone may be having any doubts regarding DevHub, regarding DSC, regarding Hack Club, they can post in the chats, or we'll be having the discussion forums also in Slack, so we can discuss there also. If anyone is having any query, they can ask here also. All right, so thank you everyone. I think we can
Thank you
end
everyone
this
for
right
joining.
here.
I hope you had a wonderful time. You may leave now.
Yeah. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.